Man, one of my partners just passed away. You know what I'm saying? Kind of got me a little shook up because he was a little homie. He came into prison with an addiction. Upshaw was in Clark County Jail, and when I talked to his day one friend, man, she told me that he had overdosed on fentanyl, meaning they failed to keep him safe. Y'all see what's going on down here in Fulton County, Clark County Jail, up on investigation by the feds. Man, one of my partners just passed away. You know what I'm saying? Kind of got me a little shook up because he was a little homie, and I didn't grow up with him and then, but I met him, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was in prison and whatnot, man. His name Upshaw, Devontae, Levante, his brother named Devontae, but Levante Upshaw. And we were locked up in prison. I met him. He was, one of those, go that way or however. But, I don't judge nobody. I don't judge nobody for their sexuality, you know what I'm saying? The race, what they believe in, religion, or none of that. I wasn't never that type of person, man. So and then I have people that's different too in my family, you know what I'm saying? So I don't judge 'cause I wouldn't want nobody to judge my family member for what they believe in, their sexuality or their color, race or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you go to prison, you meet different people, however. It just so happened he was on the other side. He floated on another boat, or however. So, but we was cool. We like the prayer service and stuff. We be at the prayer service, however. But he was working in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get that money, and he was like on the sanitation. You know what I'm saying? So I had to holler at him one day. He finna go to work. Like before he went to work. He worked in the kitchen, but he was like a sanitation. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no cooker in the kitchen. He worked for a different department, which was the sanitation. So I knew that he moved around. You know what I'm saying? I watched him and stuff. He moved around all day while I'm looking at the window myself. So the next time he was finna go to work, I'm like, hey, Upshaw, man, holler at your folk, man, trying to get me a job and stuff like that. He was like, man, I got you, Tree, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was cool, funny dude and everything, man. So he ended up talking to the lady down at the kitchen who ran the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? She was over all the stewardess. And he ended up getting me on the sanitation. He was head sanitation, you know what I'm saying? It was like four of us, you know what I'm saying? But I jumped in, the number two guy running up under him, but he was the head guy in the sanitation, you know what I'm saying? So he showed me how to get the money, you know what I'm saying? How to get the food bam, because that's what we were really doing. We getting the food, selling the food, boom, 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 boom. I would cash up that shit home to my wife, you know what I'm saying? So he had that little problem though, which was, the drugs, and, as time passed, I stopped seeing them coming to the prayer calls, the prayer circles and stuff like that. He started shying off because, he came into prison with an addiction. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, in prison, you can get them drugs in there and they getting the same stuff that's you have out here in the real world, right? In the prison, you know what I'm saying? Just a higher price. You know what I'm saying? And just like myself, you know what I'm saying, smoking the K2 and the weed and the tobacco and all that, at one point, he was doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But, of course, they were having the meth and the ice and stuff like that. So, like, he was doing his thing because he on another level of the drug, than me. So, to each his own, but however, that drug addiction, I guess, it done, sometimes it catch up with us faster than others, and sometimes others get out of however, man. But, once I got out, which I think he left first, I think he went to like a county camp or something, whatever. I did my time and got out and stuff. And he ended up finding me on Facebook through a chick, you know what I'm saying, that I was hollering at in Florida that we used to work at the prison and whatnot. So once he was talking to her, because they was good friends since she had done stopped working at the prison or whatever, and she told him that she was in contact with me. So all three of us just get on the phone, chop it up, chop it up, however. You know what I'm saying? But he was up in Athens, you know what I'm saying? I would tell you, nigga, come down, man. Come down one day, meet my wife, the kids, everybody, man. He was like a little brother, he was whatever, but he was like a little brother still, you know what I'm saying? So he had, at times, he said he don't come all that, but he never came or whatnot. But it was different times he'll call me and be like, bro, I need like $10, I need like $20 or whatever, whatever. And when I can, I send it to him. You know what I'm saying? I sent it to him a couple times or however. But um, it was a little misunderstanding, a little lie told here or there, um, that made me like really stop talking to him and shy away from him, because I take my friendship and trust and all that, my name, reputation, it is what it is. I take all that serious though, you know what I'm saying? This is who I am. And the good, the bad, the ugly. Don't put nothing else over there though. Or don't take nothing else out and over there, because this is who I am. Because if you put something over there, then that's a lie. You take something back from away from who I am, then that's a lie too. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, I was talking to the old correction officer. They're down in Florida, and a big shots out to her. She know who she is or whatever. And one day we was talking, man. She was like, "Yeah, man. I was talking to Upshaw. And I'm like, "Yeah, how you doing, man?" He talked to him in a minute, and I sent him like $20, about 2 months ago or something like that. And she was like, "Man, he doing okay. He done got back on that stuff. And something going on medical. Well, I think he had like one, them bags on him or whatnot." And as me and her talking though, she had ended up telling me like, "Yeah, he had told me that you sent him some pictures." What? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "What you mean? What the, I don't even send my wife no pictures. And she was like, "Yeah, man, send some D pictures, some D pictures." I'm like, "Some D pictures?" She like, "Yeah." I'm like, what? You should have told her to show them to you." You know what I'm saying? But no, that right there was that wasn't true, man. And I couldn't believe he had said that, man. But he got an addiction and stuff. So I don't know what his mind was going through. Sometimes people say things to make you, laugh, smile, be amazed, just because they can say these things. We human. I don't know why some of the things we do, what we do. But she went on to tell me, she was like, "Man, tell you the truth, Tree." She was like, "When y'all was in prison, I thought y'all was like a couple or something, messing around." I'm like, "Well, would you get that idea from?" Straight the fuck up. And she was like, "Because y'all used to I used to be in the building, the kitchen. I worked in the kitchen. Her assignment. She said y'all used to come in all the time. Y'all was coming in all the time together." I'm like, we fucking work together, and we was in the same dorm. So when we get up in the morning to go do our detail, we walk by 6 of us, but me and him came through the door together. I'm like, "Man, are you serious?" She said, "Yeah, but see, this is the thing." She was like, "So as I'm saying that, and I'm thinking, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, Trish, you were trying to holler at me, but I'm thinking like that. I had to ask him." I said, "You should have asked me." Right there, that way it went wrong. You see what I'm saying? She said, I ended up asking him. And when I asked him, "Hey, you want that tree, kicking or something?" He was like, "Nah, child, nah, we ain't kicking." That's my homie though. And she was like, "For real, I thought something was going on." And then she said, Upshaw ended up saying, "But I think he liked me." I think he liked me. Hey. So I was like, "For real?" She was like, "Yeah." So, I didn't even know that was said. However, I done been in prison, came home. It been 2 years later. Now she telling me all. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? But, that's cool. You think whatever, or however, that's anybody in the world, man. Sometimes people be misleading or something. You never know. You might take somebody's kindness as weakness, or kindness as flirtatious. Or I don't know. Like I say, we're humans. You know what I'm saying? But back to the deep pit. See, that right there, though, was a lie that was put over there. And that wasn't right. That was unfair to me, and we partners. You know what I'm saying? And, that what made me, not answer no more phone call for him, He hit me with a text, and I'm sending him, I was like, "Oh, man, I can't do that, man." You know what I'm saying? And, I didn't feel bad about it, because it was just what it was. You know what I'm saying? I keep it 100 in the street, man, as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? So that was that, man. And then the story right here, man, he just died. And I get the news from, my lady friend cop down in Florida. She ended up calling me and telling me like, yeah, you know, he died. I'm like, how he died, man? You know, and this like the second, maybe third friend that done died that I was in prison with since I done came home. You know what I'm saying? That we was cool with no matter what. And she said she didn't know, you know, like that, man. So I went on Facebook to see what she was talking about, and I seen some of his friends and stuff, man. Big shots out to you. I ain't gonna say y'all name because you know. And I seen some of his friends, man, like two main friends of his, man. Both of them was girls, man. And I reached out to him, and I ended up finding out the information. Then I went and looked at like up in Athens, up in that area. They have, you know, somebody that's on Facebook and, you know, Instagram. I can remember his name. I would have gave him a big shout out, man. But he have a little podcast show, man, and talk about the news and the things that's going on up there. And one of the things he was talking about is the county jail. And I found out that Upshaw was in Clark County Jail up in Athens. And he had been in there since July. You know what I'm saying? And here we are in November. And he died on Veterans Day. You know what I'm saying? But when I find out, because I'm asking people, okay, he in the county jail, he been in there this long, how he died? Somebody must stab him like that. And somebody like, yeah, I think so. So that's what I went with until I got deep and talked to like his day one. And when I talked to his day one friend, man, she told me that he had overdosed on fentanyl, man. And that's the thing. I know you get stuff in the prison, you know, like that. I've been through that stuff, and I know you get stuff in the county jail, man. But you know, the county jail right here, man, this ain't way like somewhere and you got to throw it over the fence and all that. And we know you got the officer and all this stuff, man. But fentanyl inside the Clark County jail up there in Athens. This man been there since July. He ain't left and went nowhere. He's been there. So however it is, it came into their county jail. Meaning they failed to keep him safe. Simple. Don't listen, man. I do the show, man. It ain't nobody to, you know, you don't got to run this way, shoot this way, shoot this way. It's straightforward. Once we get arrested, we are in the custody of the state. How do I OD on fentanyl in your custody? And however I do it, it's your fault. That's how I go. Something like that. However it go, it's your fault. And somebody have to pay for that. You just can't say, oh, well, it happens. Oh, well, we don't get it in here. We can't stop it. Well, you can't keep nobody safe. If you can't stop it, you can't keep nobody safe. You can't even close the jail down. Let somebody else do the jail. You know what I'm saying? For real. Let the feds do the jail. Because if you can't stop it, then I mean you can't keep nobody safe. Because you couldn't keep Upshaw safe. For real. Fentanyl. Man, like I can see some tobacco got in now. I even can see some marijuana got in now. But how did fentanyl get in there? How did fentanyl get passed in different hands and ain't nobody died? But then when he get it, he died. You don't just have to take it or smoke it or snort it or do whatever you're going to do with it. You can just touch it. See what I'm saying? So that's crazy, man. Clark County jail. Just like Fulton County. Y'all see what's going on down here in Fulton County. Clark County Jail should be upon investigation by the feds. Simple. For real. And I know it ain't the first time it happened. For real. We talking about fentanyl. County jail. You go to Fulton County. You got people dying, people going through walls like Andy Dupree, stabbing people, all that. People dying from bed bugs. You got people dying from stabbing, head getting busted with locks. But you don't got nobody ODing from fentanyl. So who really bought that in there? Who really bought that in there? Who it was really for? Maybe you know what I'm saying. Maybe he got something. Somebody shared something with him. You know what I'm saying? How you get it in there? Ain't nobody. Their hands like me. I don't give a fuck how much money you give me. Hey man, I want you to go take it to the cop. And the cop gonna get it in. I'm just saying. Me? No, fuck no. No. You get it to the cop. Cut me out. Who the cop is? Or is it the inmate? Throw it on the wall or put it in the bush. This person, whoever your lucky ass is, and then you put it in the bush, then the inmate come out there, he get it. down, down right there with the lawnmower. Pick it. Like who the? For real, bro. Somebody have to pay for that, man. For real. And his mother, they should have pulled together. They should start protesting. They should be out there with them picket signs. You know what I'm saying? Condolences go to the family. Condolences, man. For real, man. Because he was a great guy. Likeable. People person. Smile all the time. Missing teeth and everything. He couldn't help but to smile, y'all. It's real talk, man. And that was my little homie, man. I'm a lot older than him, man. That was my little homie, man, in jail, man. For real, man. That real talk, dog. Good dude. And they couldn't keep himself in the county jail, man. For real, you should close the jail down. For real. That real talk, man. For real. And right now, you know, I'm waiting for the funeral because I'm trying to get up there and go to the funeral up in Athens. So I'm waiting for them to hit me back on it, man. But there's no way that this don't supposed to be on the news. There's no way that the city councilmen and people, and, you know, supposed to be looking into that jail. Because like I said, this ain't no marijuana. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nobody getting stabbed. This fentanyl. This is fentanyl. It's inside the county jail. Y'all don't think they're wrong with that? Man, if y'all don't think they're wrong with that, y'all sick in the head, man.